Hey, what's up, family? Hey, today we're going to do another book review on one of my favorite authors named Goines. I love this guy's books. All his books are so great. It make you feel like you're really there. Now, I think we did about 3 already. We're going to do all of them. Now, as you can see, this one here is called Crime Partners, and it's actually a 4 saga. It's very rare that part 2, part 3, and all that, when they have books like that, in my opinion, that they be good. But in this case, oh man, all his books are good. Now, just to give you a small summary of what this book is about, because we're going to dive into it. We ain't going to give you too much, but we're going to give you enough to make you be like, wow. So this one's basically about these 2 guys, Billy and Jackie. Yeah. They hired for hit guys, and they rob drug dealers and drug addicts and stuff like that. And so, but before I get into that, I need to tell you a very important correlation with something else, this drug lord in South Jamaica, Queens, named Supreme, and tell you the great correlation. And what does correlation mean?
A mutual relationship or connection.
Great. That's the word of the day, correlation. A mutual relationship or connection. Now, to get into this, because I thought it was so incredible when I read his bio, when I watched the documentary. You know how a lot of y'all out there, y'all love that show American Gangsters, when they talk about all these different drug lords around the world and all this stuff. And in this case, this is dealing with this guy named Supreme McGriff out in New York, South Side, 50 Cent area. All right, and it's going to be a correlation with that too. Remember, correlation means a mutual connection or agreement. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. What I like about the Supreme thing and the correlation that it has is that he was a known drug lord. This ain't about the book yet, it's getting to it. He was a known drug lord. Unfortunately, a lot of criminal activity in and out of prison. But at one point in his life, he really did try to leave the criminal lifestyle. And that's when he went to LA and he tried to get all the rights to the 4 Kenyatta series. I love the Kenyatta Down Goines series. And he tried to get the rights to that. And that's when they came out with the movie called Crime Partners, where Supreme had a hand in that. And I thought that was cool. He really tried to straighten his life out. Unfortunately, that criminal life still was in him, and he wound up going back to prison and doing life. But if you think about it, if you do just a little bit of history on it, you'll see, because at one point they had told Supreme he wanted to help squash that beef between 50 Cent and Ja Rule. And remember, 50 was like, the hell with that. Ain't squashing nothing. It was on some, they had a whole different and other things that was going on that a lot of people didn't know. But one of the things where Supreme tried to squash that, where 50 was like, nah, what part am I missing here? I'm messing up a little bit.
Well, what Ja Rule had to do with 50 Cent? I mean, it's all the movie.
I'm glad you said it, because it messed me up a little bit. Because, see, the correlation was Supreme and Ja Rule. And 50 Cent had a beef with Ja Rule. And so even though Supreme was trying to squash that, 50 was like, nah, he ain't squashing nothing. Matter of fact, for a lot of y'all hardcore 50 Cent fans out there, you know what I'm talking about. Because remember, he even had a song called The Holy Quran. And he was name dropping throughout that song. And matter of fact, I remember one verse in the very beginning where he said, when you speak of the South Side, you speak of the team. Because remember, Supreme, he had a team. It was called the Supreme Team. But in the song, the Holy Quran, 50 Cent song, he said, when you speak of the South Side, you speak of the team. See, niggas fear the prince and respect the preem. I do remember that. But anyway, I like that he tried to go legit. But unfortunately, a lot of times that criminal behavior, it just can't get out of some people, or it come back and catch them. But we can go all day with that, but I'm not here for that. I just wanted to at least mention that the correlation of 50 Cent and Supreme, the correlation of Ja Rule, and that whole thing, it had something to do with that, and why Supreme, he did try to go legit, and he had a hand in coming out with the movie. The movie is pretty decent, but I always like the books better. So now, finished with that, let's get on with the actual book. So like I said, the book was dealing with these 2 guys, Billy and Jackie, right?
Yes.
And they were hired for hit guys to knock off drug dealers.
They were top.
Yes. And it just so happens, the way this book starts out, oh man, it really hurt your feelings, like hurt your heart, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because it just so happens, while they went to go rob this fiend, it just so happens simultaneously what was going on in their house was they was getting high, the man and his woman. And as they was getting high and all doped up, they had a little girl in the house. I don't know, how old would you say?
8 years old.
8 years
I
old.
believe it was 8 years
And the
old.
little girl, you know, she just like a little kid. She just wanted a little attention from her moms. And while they was getting high, she's like, "Mommy, I'll help clean up," because they kept complaining it was so
yeah,
messy.
it was so messy, and I think they were gonna have some visitors coming.
Yeah.
So the mother needed to have the place cleaned up.
Yeah. So the little girl was like, I'll help out. And when she was trying to help out, sweeping up, she wound up hitting the table and knocking their drugs over.
Yes.
And when she did that, the boyfriend went into a blind rage.
Oh, he snapped big time. But of course, he was high already.
Yeah.
But he was so furious because it was the drugs that he was in the middle of taking.
Yes.
And come to find out, it's very touching because it's an 8-year-old, and it's a lot of kids going through a lot of situations like that.
He was in such a drug-induced blind rage. He beat her to death with a belt and a broom.
He beat her so badly with the broom that actually the broom, the
broke,
stick of the broom, broke.
Yeah, and then after he killed her, he was like, "Get up, you ain't sleep, get up."
No, and he hasn't even finished yet. What happened was after he gave her a beating so badly with the broom, she fell.
Yeah.
And then not only that, he beat her like a man. He started kicking her.
See?
Kicking her.
And the mother right there the whole time. I was so furious.
Well, she was screaming, but she wasn't stopping him.
Yeah.
She's like, "Stop! I told you not to be beating up my little girl."
Oh, that made me so furious. But then, ironically, Jackie and Billy come to rob them. When they come to rob them.
Before that, the mother takes the little girl and puts her in
one of the
her
rooms.
bedrooms.
Talking about she sleep or whatever. Acting like she sleep or like she gonna be all right.
But she wasn't responding.
So when Jackie and Billy come to the house to rob them, they see they ain't got much of nothing. The place a mess. And then when they go and ruin the room, they see the little girl and they see all the bruises.
Well, one of them, I think it was Billy.
Yeah.
He went in and he just stood there and he had tears in his eyes.
Because he see the girl wasn't responding.
She was blue. That means she was
dead.
practically dead.
Yeah, and then now he went into a blind rage. Because they was just there to rob them. But when he seen y'all killed this little girl, he snapped.
Well, they both snapped.
Yeah.
Now they beat the mess out of the guy. And then on top of it, they wind up killing both of them.
Killed the mother and the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. But that part had us both emotional. It was like, yo, see what drugs could do to people? But anyway, other than that, let's go a lot further in the book. So now this is what they do. They rob people. But that was personal with that incident. But now on another day, they trying to get their money together. They're a little broke again, so they gotta come up with another scheme. So now Jackie I got a friend named Kenyatta. This is the introduction to Kenyatta. So now we're gonna meet this guy named Kenyatta. Billy ain't so witty. He's like, man, you always talk about this guy Kenyatta like he's so great, this and that. But they go to that guy's house, and sure enough, everything is organized. People, it's almost so militant like. And even Billy like, wow, this guy really got. And what Kenyatta does, he introduces himself and he tells his plans, and he acts, he figure out he can trust these jokers and all this. And then he tell him, I got to plan this tonight where we're going to knock off these crooked cops. Because let's remember, now, also, after Billy and them killed the mother and the boyfriend, remember, now the cops came because all the gunshots.
Oh, yeah, they were doing a full investigation.
And when the cops came, next thing you know, remember, this one racist white cop, he was just straight racist, like, oh, more niggers dead, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it just so happens around the back of the building, it was a black detective.
His name is Benson.
Investigating.
Yeah.
And then when the white cop goes around the back, he sees this black guy, and right away he...
Looking inside the window. He was looking inside the window.
He started harassing the black detective and talking about, I'll blow your damn head off. And he's like, yo, hold it. I'm a cop. And he's like, nah, you effing nigga, this and this and that. And just harassing the heck out of him. And then he talking about how he's going to kill him. And he's like, get down on your knees and this and that. He put this guy through all this hell. And then just so happens, his partner comes and go, whoa. Hey, that's Detective Benson or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said, man, I told you I was a cop, you freaking fool. And now this freaking racist cop, he's like to himself under his breath, he said, damn it, I should have blew that nigga away when I had the chance.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna be in all kind of trouble. So it's like, yo, he was a problem, that white cop. Like a lot of these crooked cops.
And I'm glad that Benson did report him.
Yeah.
Because he would have got away Because you know how all the cops and detectives are down with each other.
Oh man,
They're always and they don't want to tell on each other.
Yep.
They'd rather just deal with the secret,
Yep.
deal with however.
That's why I can't stand when people go, there's some good cops. Okay, when it is some good cops, you don't hear much about it. It's like that David Chappelle show he came out 846, like he spoke about that guy Chris Darman. Great story for all y'all that don't really know the story. Chris Darman did everything right, good cop. Reported his crooked partner cop who was abusing an assailant who was already handcuffed. Did everything right, reported her and everything, and the cops turned on him and said, "Oh, you're fired." And when he tried to get reinstated, never got reinstated. They blackballed him. So then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna raise war against LAPD," and that's when he went out and he just went on a killing spree. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, they blackballed me. I'm one of the good cops you people always talking about. And he ambushed them 2 cops. He killed them. He went to another cop house. He wasn't there. He killed the daughter. That's unfortunate. But they wound up getting him up in a cabin somewhere. It took like 300-400 cops to get this one guy. Freaking cowards. But anyway, back to the book. So now, Kenyatta tells Jackie and them, yo, we put a plan together tonight, and we're going to get these crooked cops. And so that's what they was doing. Kenyatta's whole plan was, I'm going to start knocking off all these crooked, abusive, corrupt ass cops.
But he did say not the black ones.
Yeah.
Because it's only a few that we have there to protect us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he was just going after crooked cops. It wasn't like just a bad guy. Mm-hmm. It's like, yo, these guys are coming in our neighborhoods, killing our people, and nothing happened to them. So Kenyatta, his whole plan was, we gonna knock off these crooked cops. And his plans was always perfect to the T.
On point, because he also goes by the timing. Everybody got to have the same time. Yes.
Synchronized timing. So I love how he put that together. Even he had a farm out where he would have people training and all that stuff. But you know what else crazy? Because like I said, we don't give y'all everything. But so they knocked off some cops, and that racist cop, he's one of the first to get killed. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh, yes. Love it when he got. Well, I forgot how he got killed. It was in the car or the bomb?
No, in the car.
All right.
In the car.
That's what. Yeah. Someone called up and said there's something going up, and they pulled up and it's like boom, 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 boom.
Well, no, the racist cop wanted to call for backup.
Yeah.
Because he was there with his partner. I'm sorry. So he wanted to have a backup. Yeah. Mm. So unfortunately, because they came, they was killed too.
Yeah, and he deserved to go. He was racist, and he was corrupt, and he was murdering people. He rightfully still needed to go. Mm. But another thing I like, when finally he allowed Jackie and Billy to go up to their farm to see how. And Billy, he found him a good woman, Joy. Yes, Joy, and Jackie had already had a good woman, Carol. Yes. Great women, very supportive and all that. But the thing that was messed up, he had just met Joy. And they hit it off. They fell in love like instantly. And then she's like, I gotta go back to town. Like, they stayed, like, let's say the whole weekend. At the end of the week, she said, I gotta go back to town and see my mother, this and that. So they went back.
She had a child.
She had a child.
She had a child, and the child was with the mother.
Yes.
So she wanted, before they make any other plans, she wanted to make a stop. That's where it really. And that's where it really messed up.
Because now, remember, she just met this dude over the weekend, fell in love, and now they come back to town. Mm-hmm. But the cops is putting together to try to find these jokers that killed the cops. And not only that, the other drug dealer, the bigger drug dealer, want to find out who's these guys going around killing my drug dealers. Yeah. So now they got the cops looking for them, and they got the other big drug dealer guy looking for them. Mm-hmm. But they out of town. But now when he come back in town, remember that rat? He ratted him out that whole time.
Yeah, he looked homeless. He was passing back and forth. And Jackie was like, I don't know, something.
We need to knock him off. And they just didn't do it at the time.
No, exactly.
And so it just so happened when they come back in town, and as they get out of the car, Joy, who just got with this guy, she barely had time to talk. She seen 2 guys coming from across the street with big coats or whatever and a big stick, but it really was a shotgun.
One of the guys, had his hand in there, and he looked suspicious. It was so obvious that it made her feel very uncomfortable.
And right away she said, Billy! But before she get the words out of her mouth, got shot right in the neck. And as she went down, Billy ran to her and was like, yo, then he got shot all up. And then Jackie got shot up, but Jackie was able to get off.
She was a fighter, and she was a warrior.
Oh, you mean Carol?
Carol was a fighter.
Yeah, she was a fighter. Word up.
I liked her.
They put up a fight, but it was like, wow. That the other big Kingfisher, that's what it was, right?
Yeah.
He put a big hit out on them to knock them off. Yeah, so that got me, man. Like,
so
damn.
In reality, in the end, they all got killed.
Yeah, but that was the introduction to Kenyatta. Remember, now after that, you got Kenyatta's death list, because he wanted a list of all the drug dealers to knock him off. Kenyatta's, then you got Kenyatta's escape and Kenyatta's last hit. So we're gonna get on those too. But hey, great book. I'm telling you, it's definitely a page turner. Great book, great dialogue as usual.
Well, I'll tell you this much: it's not really a good look when you're actually in those type of situations where you know you get in the drug game or anything that is illegal.
Yes.
Whether you get locked up or you get killed.
Yeah, that's normally the case with a lot of cases. Because you got a lot of drug dealers, you know, that they are like you know, like the Pablo Escobar's, and you go, you got all this money, why don't you just quit? You know, but it's the power that controls them. Like I said in the beginning of this video, look at Supreme from South Jamaica, Queens. You know, it's like, yo, you was a huge drug dealer, why don't you just stop? He tried. And that's when he came up with having a hand in getting this movie put out. But that life still was coming back up on him. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get up out of that.
Exactly.
So, that's the end of that. So, in closing, what I would say, I think the last thing I would give about this is probably the story of Joy, because that probably brought a tear to your eye.
And this little girl.
This good woman who just met this man, and she wound up getting killed basically by a stranger, because of a stranger. Her boyfriend now was basically a stranger. She didn't know him for the weekend. But be careful who you link up with.
Who you hang with.
What was the word of the day?
Correlation.
Who you have a correlation with. Remember, a mutual agreement. Be careful who you link up with, or connection. Be careful who you have a correlation with, because look at Joy. She just met this guy. Her life was fine. But because she had a correlation with Billy, a connection, now she got shot down and killed, all because of who she knew. So that's my last quote, what I would say in closing. Be careful who you link up with, have a correlation with, because you never know what's going on in their life and their lifestyle, and because you with them, you get caught up in their nonsense.
Exactly.
You have any last statement?
So just comment about this video. We'd like to hear from you guys what you think about this whole situation, because it overalls with everything, with his family or friends. So just interact with this conversation.
Cool. In other words, leave a comment, share, like, and of course, subscribe. We love reading books together as a family, and we love having our little difference of opinions and dialogue.
And hearing from you guys.
Yeah, and we love to hear from you. Thank you.
You are.
Finishing my sentences for me. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, subscribe, share, like, and comment. Appreciate it. We get more positive ones out to you. More books. It's a fictional book, but it's a great one. On that note, peace.